Welcome to Locked Up and Uncorked. First of all, it's not because you're stuck at home that you have to be a bum. So rule number one, dress up, dress nice, sport chic, as my grandmother used to say. Now, let's get to it. Dóm Pérignon. Today, I decided to talk about Dom Perignon. There's the myth that Dom Perignon is the creator of champagne. That the first time that he tasted champagne, he exclaimed, "I tasted the stars." Of course, all this is a myth. In 1668, Dom Perignon was a monk who was assigned to go manage the monastery at Auvillers. And among his many responsibilities, he had to sort of revive all of the vineyards and was the cellar master. Dom Perignon has often been credited as having invented champagne. Actually, champagne invented itself. It's a simple process called fermentation. The yeast that's on the skin comes into contact with the juice from the grapes. And what it does, it's converting it into alcohol and carbonic gas. In colder regions like Champagne, the yeast will go into hibernation during winter and kind of resume its work in spring when we get to warmer temperature. What happens is that it activates the carbonic gas and bubbles come to the surface. So most of the time, they actually had a lot of bottles that would explode. Dom Perignon actually spent his 47 years at Auvillers trying to get rid of the bubbles that he considered a flaw. And most of the wine that he actually made was red, certainly not white, and absolutely not sparkling. He used to call the bubbles the le vin du diable, which means devil's wine, and never really managed to get rid of the bubbles. What he did manage to do was set down what have now been called the golden rules of winemaking. Again, focusing on quality over quantity. Another thing that he did invent was the process of corking bottles. The myth of Dom Perignon was sort of revived when, after the Great Depression, most of the champagne houses were struggling to keep afloat. Sales were down, business was just not happening. And the people at Moet and Chandon decided that they should come up with something very, very special and expensive, which is what now is called the Prestige Cuvée. And thought of calling it after the famous monk. They promoted it with the myth of the blind monk who was the inventor of champagne. Dom Perignon is the first Prestige Cuvée to hit the market in 1921, but not released until 1936. Of course, the prototype of the Prestige Champagne was actually created by Louis Roederer in 1876 when the Tsar Alexander II demanded a very special, champagne to be made for him. And this is how, Cristal was created. That's it for today. I hope you'll join me next time. Until then, remember, life without champagne bubbles is flat. So make it pop. Cheers.